Attention passionate Seattle Seahawks fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news all right. Seahawks fans, buckle up because the NFL rumor mill is buzzing with some pretty intriguing whispers that could have a significant impact on our division, and more specifically on the Seahawks' future. The buzz is about Landon Dickerson, the beastly guard from the Philadelphia Eagles, potentially making his way to Seattle in a trade that could shake up the NFC West. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. Trades like this aren't confirmed yet, but the talk is gaining momentum, and it's worth discussing how such a move might reshape our offensive line and consequently our entire team dynamic. Let's start with the context. The Eagles, sitting comfortably at 8-2, are quietly planning some roster adjustments. Sources whisper that Philly is eyeing a trade involving Landon Dickerson, a key part of their offensive line, in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 draft. The reason? The Eagles are prioritizing extensions for Jalen Hurts and their defensive line, especially with their high-powered attack averaging 4 points per game, and they're looking to free up cap space for those moves. The Eagles' defense, holding opponents to just 21 points per game, is solid, but they're facing some financial constraints, especially when it comes to their secondary. Moving Dickerson, who is on a relatively manageable cap hit of around $12 million, could free up approximately $14 million in cap space. That would give them some breathing room to extend Hurts, shore up their secondary, and keep their core competitive. Now, for those of us who follow the trenches closely, Landon Dickerson is a guy that jumps out immediately. The dude is a bulldozer, a truly versatile guard who's become a staple of Eagles' line since he stepped into the league 5 years ago. Over his career, he's played more than 60 games, and his PFF grade is an impressive 86.7, which is among the best for guards in the league. His run-blocking efficiency is about 90%, and he's allowed only 8 sacks during his tenure, which speaks volumes about his pass protection skills. In 2025, he's been solid in 9 games, with an overall PFF grade of 84.5, placing him in the top 10 among guards nationally. His run-blocking grade is an elite 87.2, and he maintains a pass block grade of 82.0, showing he's reliable in both aspects of his game. He's allowed just 15 pressures, and his EPA, expected points added, per run is around 0.25, meaning he's consistently creating space and opening lanes on the ground. In terms of impact, Landon Dickerson could be exactly what the Seahawks need to elevate their offensive line to the next level. As of now, our inside line is averaging a modest 4-5 yards per carry, which is decent but not spectacular. If we bring in a guy like Dickerson, who projects an increase in yards per carry to around 5.0, we could see a significant boost in our ground game, especially with our commitment to establishing the run. Imagine the impact of having a stable, dominant interior line that can reduce pressures from 30 down to around 20, giving Geno Smith more time to throw and allowing our receivers to get open downfield. Plus, his pass protection could improve our pass success rate by around 20%, which is massive in a league where every yard counts. And let's not forget how this would elevate our run yards per game from roughly 120 to potentially 140, an increase that could keep our offense balanced and unpredictable. Now, for those of you who follow the Seahawks closely, you know how crucial interior line stability is. Our current guards are decent, but they're not quite at the level of what a guy like Dickerson can bring. His presence would create a more cohesive, dominant unit that would make life easier for our running backs and give Geno more confidence in the pocket. And speaking of the run game, a stronger interior line means more sustained drives, fewer turnovers, and ultimately more points on the board, something our team has been striving for all season long. The Seahawks' offense, which averages around 4 points per game, could see a further boost, making us even more dangerous against playoff-caliber defenses. But let's talk about the bigger picture. What does this mean for the Seahawks? Well, first, it's about building a more formidable offensive line that can withstand the physicality of playoff football. When you look at the numbers, our current guards are average at best, with a PFF grade around 70, which leaves room for improvement. Bringing in a player of Dickerson's caliber could raise our overall interior line grade by nearly 14. 5 points, which is huge. It's not just about individual talent. It's about creating a unit that works seamlessly together, reducing pressures and boosting our run and pass success rates. Think about it. If our third down conversion rate jumps from around 8% to 45% because of better protection and run blocking, that's a game changer. It means more sustained drives, more scoring opportunities, and less reliance on big plays that can sometimes be inconsistent. And here's an interesting hypothetical. If the Seahawks could acquire Dickerson in a trade similar to how the Eagles might consider trading Jason Kelce in some future scenario, it could be a real catalyst for our run game. Kelce's leadership and experience are invaluable, but if a younger, more explosive guard like Dickerson can be brought in, it could give us a fresh edge. It's about balancing experience with youth, and Dickerson fits perfectly into that mold. He's only 28 in the prime of his career, and he's shown he can anchor an offensive line that's capable of winning big games. His addition could also serve as a signal to the rest of the league that the Seahawks are serious about contending, especially if they bolster their interior line and make a push for the playoffs with a more balanced attack. Now, looking at the odds, there's been some betting movement lately, with the Seahawks' chances of making a deep playoff run increasing slightly. The odds used to be around plus 1,500, but now they've shifted to plus 900, a plus 40% boost that reflects growing confidence in our team's potential. If we can secure a player like Dickerson, that boost could become even more substantial. He could be that X factor that helps us grind out yards in cold playoff conditions, where physicality and toughness often determine who advances. Our running game, which has been solid but not elite, could become a dominant force that keeps defenses honest and opens up the passing game even more. In the grand scheme of things, it's all about building a resilient, well-rounded team. The Seahawks have already shown flashes of brilliance this season, especially on offense, but consistency and depth are key. A trade for Landon Dickerson could be the missing piece that pushes us over the edge, transforming our interior line from average to elite. It's about taking that next step, about saying to the NFC West and the league, we're here to contend and we're not backing down. The division is fierce, with the 49ers and Rams always lurking, but with the right moves, Seattle can establish itself as a true powerhouse, especially if we solidify our front lines and continue to develop our young talent. The Eagles, on their side, will continue their journey with or without Dickerson, but it's clear they see the value in moving him now rather than risking losing him for nothing after the season. They're planning their next steps, and it looks like cap space and future picks are part of their strategy. Meanwhile, for us in Seattle, this potential move highlights the importance of smart offseason planning and aggressive roster management. We've got the pieces, and now it's about making those key additions that can turn a good team into a championship-caliber squad. So Seahawks fans, as we watch these developments unfold, it's exciting to think about the possibilities. We already have a talented team, but if we can add a player like Landon Dickerson with his power, consistency, and leadership, it could be the spark that propels us to new heights. Our offensive line would be a fortress, our rushing attack unstoppable, and our chances of making a deep playoff run skyrocket. It's about building for the future, making bold moves now, and showing the league that Seattle is serious about returning to the top. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Seahawks. Do you think landing Dickerson would be the move that takes our offense to the next level? Are you excited about the possibility of seeing him in our blue and green? I know I am. The offseason is just heating up, and with every rumor and every potential move, the anticipation builds. We're all in this together, rooting for our team and dreaming of that Super Bowl run. So stay tuned, because I'll be back soon with more updates, more rumors, and all the latest Seahawks news. Let's keep the passion alive, Seahawks family, and as always, go Hawks.